Hello guys, Dylan Gable here. Well, another year is done, and you know what that means. It's time to do the top 10 best movies of 2023. I saw a lot of great stuff this year, and to really show that I saw a lot of great stuff here, not only are my top 10 bests just the absolute best of the year, I also have 20, yes, 20 honorable mentions. That's 4 more than last year. Holy shit. I know, right? This year was really good when it comes to like great movies, so let's get started. The Super Mario Brothers movie. Silent Night. The Holdovers. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. Saw X. Renfield. Missing. Megan. Infinity Pool. The Creator. Air. The Iron Claw. Cocaine Bear. Creed 3. Blackberry. Scream 6. Sisu. And VHS 85. Alright, now those were the honorable mentions. Let's get started with the top 10. Number 10. Kicking off my list is Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One was just an epic Godzilla movie with some fantastic Godzilla action sequences. But not only did it have some awesome action sequences, it also had equally as awesome human characters. I cared about every single one of them. There was always a sense of danger, and it was all the more thrilling. Godzilla was an absolute force of nature in this movie, and you felt his presence every time he showed up. And yeah, because you cared about the characters, you cared about everything that went on in this movie. Yes, I also like the legendary Godzilla movies, but man, this one just did something different. It did something better than those movies did. Because, yeah, it actually had characters you cared about. Anyways, I highly recommend Godzilla Minus One. It's a fucking awesome movie. Every Godzilla fan should see it. Number 9. Evil Dead Rise is just once again a fantastic entry into an already fantastic horror franchise. Evil Dead Rise had everything that an Evil Dead movie should have. Great dark humor, awesome gore, very over the top, and it's all around just a very intense horror movie thrill ride. Evil Dead Rise is easily a bright spot in an already great franchise. I absolutely loved Evil Dead Rise. It's a fucking awesome horror film, and it's just a great installment in an already great franchise. Absolutely check out Evil Dead Rise. It is 100% worth your time. It's just 90 minutes of pure, intense horror. I could not recommend Evil Dead Rise enough. It is an absolute treasure. Please check this movie out, especially if you're an Evil Dead fan. You are in for an absolute treat. Please see it. Number 8. My number 8 is Thanksgiving, and let me tell you, Thanksgiving was some of the most fun I have had in the theater all year. It is one of the best slasher movies in recent memory. It's got some awesome, and I mean awesome kills. It's got tons of gore. It's an Eli Roth movie, so what do you expect? And it's also really funny. Eli Roth really did bring the best movie of his career so far. Thanksgiving was it's just pure fun. Thanksgiving was just tons of fun. It's got all the gore you want out of an Eli Roth film. It's brutal, it's violent, and most importantly, it's just very entertaining. It's fucking funny. I mean, it is a laugh riot in my opinion. If you're in for the mood for a good horror flick, absolutely check out Thanksgiving. Number 7. The MCU had a pretty miserable year this year, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 rose up and gave us one hell of a conclusion to a fucking great MCU franchise. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was emotional, it was hilarious, it had some absolutely exciting action sequences. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was an absolute bright shining star in an absolute dreadful year for Marvel. It was absolutely fantastic. And every character each had their own very compelling arcs. You had Peter Quill dealing with the loss of Gamora. Rocket Raccoon was on the inch of his life. And all of it was working absolutely beautifully here. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is an absolute gem of a Marvel film, and I hope more Marvel movies in the future absolutely become as good as this. Because, yeah, the MCU has kind of been faltering in quality lately, but, yeah, this is just one example of, hey, not every MCU coming out is going to be bad. This movie was truly excellent. It was an absolute testament to how good the MCU can still be, and I highly recommend it. Number 6. Can we all agree that Talk to Me was just fucking awesome? It was. It was fantastic. This was the best horror film of the year. The tension was there. The direction was absolutely fantastic. The horror was effective. It also had great practical effects. There was some truly gruesome shit in here, and I loved every bit of it. We all loved the Raka Raka when they were on YouTube full time, right? Now they just made an excellent, and I mean excellent, directorial debut with Talk to Me. This movie was fucking wonderful. It is an absolutely masterful horror film. I can't wait to see what the Raka Raka does next, because, man, they really delivered one hell of a horror film. It is a masterpiece, in my opinion. It is one of the best horror films of the decade. Number 5. John Wick Chapter 4 is the best film in the John Wick franchise, and it is absolutely deserving to be on my top 10 best of the year list. This was a fucking badass 3 hours, man. John Wick Chapter 4 was everything I wanted it to be and more. The stunt choreography was awesome. The action scenes were epic. Keanu Reeves is at the top of his game here. Holy shit. John Wick Chapter 4 was 3 hours of just an absolute adrenaline rush. I absolutely loved every fucking bit of that long runtime. This was one of the most badass action movies I've seen in a long time. And man, it got better every single time I watched it. I fucking adored John Wick Chapter 4. If you're just in the mood for an epic, badass action movie, look no further than John Wick Chapter 4. This movie was fantastic in every sense of the word. It is absolutely one of the best films of 2023, and if you haven't seen it, please check it out. Number 4. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 continues the trend of delivering awesome action movies in this franchise. Mission Impossible is easily one of the best action franchises out there, and ever since Mission Impossible 3, these movies just never disappointed. And this movie absolutely did not disappoint. I love that this movie combined the tension of the original Mission Impossible with the action of the last few entries. Man, this movie's action was absolutely breathtaking, and the suspense that this movie had was fucking relentless. I loved every bit of this movie. This movie was exciting, it was breathtaking, it was jaw-dropping, and Tom Cruise, once again, just proves that he knows how to entertain an audience. Because this movie was wildly entertaining. This movie was so good that I just cannot wait for Part 2. I wish Part 2 didn't get delayed to 2025. Come on! Seriously? I was really looking forward to seeing Part 2 next year. All I gotta say is, I really hope Part 2 delivers as much as this awesome movie did. Number 3. Kicking off my top 3 is Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. This movie really did raise the standards for animated films and for superhero films. This movie had heart, it was compelling, it had great characters. Seriously, the character work in this movie was absolutely outstanding. But also, this movie, even though it really did a lot of work with the characters, it still didn't skimp out on that awesome fucking action. This movie has some of the best superhero action I have seen all year. This movie's animation was also fucking awesome. Like, it was crazy what they accomplished here. This movie's animation was absolutely stunning to look at, while also delivering a compelling character story with some fucking awesome action to complement it with. This movie is just everything that I wanted out of a sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. This movie surpassed Into the Spider-Verse in my opinion. This movie was just all around a fantastic time. I think it's great for Spider-Man fans, and it's also great for fans of just great movies in general. I absolutely adored this film. I highly recommend everyone check this movie out. It is truly a masterclass animated film, and is also one of the best superhero films in recent years. If you loved Into the Spider-Verse, and if you just love Spider-Man in general, I highly recommend this movie for sure. It is an absolute masterful superhero film, definitely the best comic book movie of the year. Number 2. My number 2 is Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's magnum opus. This movie was a brilliant showcase for how incredible of an actor Cillian Murphy is. And everybody in the cast did a wonderful job, like Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Matt Damon, Rami Malek. Everybody was absolutely fantastic in this movie. And this movie also has stunning visuals, a very compelling story. This movie really did make me interested in J. Robert Oppenheimer. This movie was just everything I wanted it to be, and man, Christopher Nolan delivered one fucking hell of a movie, man. I can't wait to see what he does next, because man, this just may be his masterpiece. I adored every fucking minute of Oppenheimer. It is truly masterful cinema. It is easily one of the best films of the year. It is my second favorite movie of the year, actually. And my number 1 is Killers of the Flower Moon. Not only is this my favorite movie of the year, but it is my favorite movie of the decade so far. Holy shit, Martin Scorsese has done it again. Not only does this movie have an absolutely phenomenal true crime story, but also all of the performances were fucking Oscar worthy. Everyone. Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro give some of the best performances of their careers. Lily Gladstone was also great in this movie. But not only was it that, this movie had a very well done script. The story was always engaging. That 3.5-hour runtime never bored me. And the cinematography in this movie. God damn, was that cinematography good. This movie was an absolute treat to see in theaters. This movie was just as good as Oppenheimer when it came to just how beautifully shot a movie could be. I really wish I would have saw this in IMAX, because man, that would have been one hell of an experience. If you're just looking forward to a very phenomenally executed drama, Killers of the Flower Moon is a great pick. Well, there you guys have it. That was my top 10 best movies of the year. I had a great time reviewing movies this year, and I can't wait to do more next year. So yeah, I hope you guys had a very good Christmas, and I hope your New Year's is fucking great. I hope 2024 delivers a lot of great stuff, because this year did have a lot of great stuff. Now that I'm done my best list, it's time to move on to the shit stains of the year, the worst films. I can't wait to do that. Oh boy, there's a lot of shit to talk about. Anyways, yes, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Anyways, see you later.